So, was talking before the break about the Jeffrey Vinnick, you know, the development and all the stuff that he's doing downtown, and how much I think that's going to improve not just our real estate market, but our local economy. And it kind of got me thinking, you know, and I think you guys can talk about this too, about condos. And I want to kind of get, you know, both Sean and the Diaz duo. I want to get you guys' thoughts on this. But a lot of people, I think, are still concerned when thinking about buying a condo that you can't get financing. And you guys have ways of, you know, doing things to get condo associations approved, to get buildings approved, to go through those processes, so that if there's someone out there that is about to, you know, buy a condo, you can help them through that process. Or if you have someone that, you know, controls ownership or the management of a large community that can't get financing, there's solutions for that.
Mm-hmm. There are. We have, obviously not every condo project qualifies. There are some stipulations to the condo that they have to have, mostly in the budget. They have to have enough reserves in the budget to withstand something happen. There's a guideline around that. There's with new condos, it's a matter of pre-sales and getting the pre-sales up and running. But to get to that point, we have what we call non-warrantable condos. Non-warrantable condo just basically means that it's not Fannie Mae approved yet to be able to do Fannie Mae financing. So the first few condos probably need to be in cash, or maybe we have to put more money down. But after we can get to the point where we have them Fannie Mae approvable, then we can actually do the 3% down.
Which is awesome. I mean, so a few years ago, people, I mean, if you heard the word condo, it's cash, right? I mean, it's cash, and if you don't have cash, forget about it. But now it's starting to loosen up, and I've talked for literally almost a whole year about how I believe Tampa Bay condos are so undervalued, and they're such a great investment opportunity, because I believe the prices are going to start to catch back up with. Right now, the average condo price is like less than half of the average single family. And generally, they trail by about, in Tampa, they trail by 10 to 15% in terms of those averages. Condos usually sell a little less, but they're way off because of the financing challenges. And I think you're going to see a surge once the financing loosens up of values on condos.
Well, also the HOAs are getting more in line. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
in better financial.
HOA.
Yeah, we always talk in lingo, right? we talk in lingo, and people are listening and they're like, "What's it? An HOA? What is that like?" But it's true though, because I think you're going to start to see a trend where condo values are going to markedly increase. So if you're an investor,
I think you're seeing it already. I mean, I think if you look at the stats, the condo markets are appreciating faster than the single families are already.
They are.
Yeah.
It's already coming, and the financing piece is a part of that. So Sean, speaking on the condo front, homeowner associations. You know, we get calls a lot from people that are saying, "Hey, my homeowner association won't let me do this, or I can't do that, or you know, I want to." You know, or someone that runs a condo association. What are some legal options for people out there that are running into challenges with a homeowners association, with something that they want to do? Like, let's say, for example, they, you know, they want to do something to their property and it's against, you know, HOA rules, or the HOA sends them a nasty-gram and tells them to do something. We get those calls all the time, and I know they're sometimes kind of a nuisance, but what are options people have out there from a legal perspective?
Well, I think the number one thing is that what not to do, and that's do not stop paying your assessments thinking you'll get the attention of the association, because you will get their attention, but in a bad way.
And the association can foreclose on you just like a normal creditor.
Exactly. The association can foreclose. They take the house back. Now they take it back subject to the first mortgage, but they can still throw you out, and then they can rent the house and use that money to pay the mortgage or whatever they want to do with it. So, number one, do not stop paying to try to get their attention. But what I would say is look at the rules, look at the regulations, look at the documents of the association, because those will control how you go about doing certain things. We have, where I live in West Chase, I'm actually on one of the committees that when somebody wants to make a change to their house, they want to change the color, they want to change the appearance, whatever, and the committee, the first committee, denies that, I'm on the variance committee, which is the appeals committee.
So decide whether or not someone should get the okay.
To then decide, did the first committee approve or deny that properly or improperly. So there's always steps, there's always ways to do it. It's open communication with the board. Follow the rules, follow the regulations, follow those.
You know, it's funny, we have this scenario right now, and this might kind of put you on the spot or surprise you a little bit. We have a scenario in my neighborhood, and we're not involved in the association. I run from that. I don't want to be on the association. We're too busy, you know. But you know, we have this situation in our neighborhood where the association wants to pass some rules that are, in kind of a softball way to put it, a little more strict about sex predators living in the neighborhood. So someone who's been convicted of one of those things, they want language in there that says that, you know, if you have it or we find it, we could make you leave and stuff like that. And that's something that people run into a lot is, you know, the legal concern of, can we do something, you know, if we find out our neighbor is that? And legally, I don't think they have a lot of options, really.
No, I don't think there are. I think what they would need to do, what a lot of people should do, is get involved in their association. Be the anti-Duncan model. And get involved in your association.
Well, I would say my wife is involved. I will say this much. I think we're involved from a standpoint of, you know, the people that are on the board will come to us and talk to us, and we give our insight or opinion from the real estate perspective about, you know, what a decision might impact for values. So it's not that we're not involved. I'm not on the board, and I don't, you know.
I chose not to be on the board or run for the board as well because my community association is represented by an attorney, by another council,
so
there's always that conflict.
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
But yeah, I would say there's always proxies that go out, voting cards that go out. Get involved, vote your voice, similar to the same principles for politics.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because, you know, talking about the HOAs and the condos, I think we're going to see a surge of condo conversions. I think we're going to see the cycle of all the apartments converting to condos again. I think that's going to come back.
Why do you see that?
Why?
Yeah.
I think because, well, number one, we've seen a lot more rental units created in Tampa Bay. You've seen a lot more communities come on where they've built rental communities. So I think those renters are going to want to buy. And where are they going to create fast inventory besides converting condos? I think number one. I think the other side of this, I think just looking at some of the commercial transactions from 2009 to 2012, you saw a lot of apartments sell to people that aren't historically apartment owners. In other words, I think they bought them as short-term plays to eventually flip them into condos. So I think we're going to see a healthy amount of that. And when I say that, if you're out there in one of those situations, two key things that you need if you're going to do a condo conversion, you need a really good attorney that can help you set up the HOA the right way, and you need a really good lender that can help you set up the HOA with the attorney the right way so your building can actually get loans. Because that's going to be a key to success.
Yeah.
They're going to, I think like I said, I think we're going to see a lot of it, and I think a lot of them that haven't done it before are going to not know what to do, and we can certainly help with it because, you know, we went through, you know, I worked on some condo development stuff before the bust, and I can tell you those two, it's really, really crucial if you are thinking about converting an apartment that you own, or whatever it is, to condos, you have to do your homework up front with a lender. Get a lender on board, get everything approved, get an attorney to set up the HOA so that it will get approved, you know, because there's restrictions that the lenders put on what they want to see from the HOA, not just financially, but whether there's a right of refusal for the HOA, they don't like that. There's a lot of things that need to be done the right way. That
that's the same piece of advice even for new condos in the Channelside district, you know,
right?
For that matter.
So
I mean,
Mr. Vinnick,
yeah. You know, I mean, I think a lot of times people get into it, they don't get the lender involved, and so the condo docs are written without having any input from what it's going to take to get Fannie Mae approval, which is so essential to have a successful condo project.
And then you're dealing with the downtime of having to go back and redo them and the legal cost.
Right.
Why not do it right up front and know that you're setting up the community for financial success?
Right.
But I think all of us in this room have the ability to greatly benefit in the next couple of years. I think we're going to see a lot of condo conversions, and again, there were transactions a few years ago where people were buying them, and I'm even hearing I'm hearing from people now, hey, we're looking for an apartment building. We want to own it for a year or two, and then we want to turn it into condo. We want to renovate it and turn it into. We're looking for distressed condo buildings and apartment buildings, you know.
Wow.
And I think that a lot of people see that. If we expect condo prices to rise, a condo building is going to rise too, right? When it gets financing approval. So I think, and the other reason why I think it's a big play is because we talk about next year being the year of the first-time home buyer.
Right.
So if next year is going to be the year of the first-time home buyer, we need affordable inventory for them, and it's getting harder and harder to find affordable inventory.